have swallowed all manner of poisonous certainties fed us by our parents and school teachers. If the race is to be freed from its crippling burden of good and evil, it must be psychiatrists who take the original responsibility.
ブロック・チショルムの宣言は学校制度に対する精神医学の猛攻撃を象徴するものでした。
They actually said that the purpose was social control, not to pass on knowledge, not to give him something so that he can go into the world of work.
1950年、世界中の精神科医や心理学者が公立学校制度の抜本的な見直しを提案するためにホワイトハウスに集まりました。
The White House Conference on Mental Health in the 1950s was a landmark that served to bolster the idea that schools would serve their communities better as mental health clinics than they would as institutions of learning.
In the early 60s, the world of psychiatry started to really go places in this country. Little by little, it came into our schools, our educational system.
1965年までにそれは法制化されました。精神科医は子どもたちに誰彼構わずレッテルを貼り、薬漬けにすることを公認されたのです。
A child is labeled ADD or ADHD the minute he can't sit still for a 10-15 minute period of time, or he talks constantly or ignores the teacher completely. That will get him and earn him an ADD or ADHD label.
注意欠陥多動性障害、すなわち ADHD というレッテルは1987年に本格化し、1年間で50万人のアメリカの子どもたちが ADHD と診断されました。1997年までには440万人に急増しました。この精神病の見せかけ上の蔓延に対して広がった一般市民の不安の声を受けて、合衆国政府が助成する国立衛生研究所は親や教育者に ADHD の正確な実態を説明するために著名な医師や精神科医からなる委員会を招集しました。
I would like any member of the panel to describe a typical ADHD in terms of symptomatology. Mark, would you like to? Since you see them in your practice.
I mean, I think the panel has been frank, and the difficulties here are immense in terms of these. I mean, it is hard. It's very hard to know how to answer this question. They cannot, even when they are as if driven by a motive. There are some good clinical descriptions. And I think, I think part of the problem is the profession keeps changing the diagnosis.
At this time, we do not have a diagnostic test for ADHD. Therefore, the validity of the disorder continues to be a problem.
しかしこの告白によって流れに歯止めがかかることはありませんでした。2年後、ADHD と診断された生徒の数は600万人になりました。現在、世界中で2000万人の子どもたちが精神障害というレッテルを貼られています。多くの場合、その診断はほんの数分で下されます。
We would sit behind a two-way mirror along with the parents. We would then look at the child. We would do small manipulative activities with them to see where their deficit was. It was wrong what we were doing. We were looking at a 5-minute glimpse of this child's life and saying, okay, here you go. Here's a little pill, take it, you'll be fine.
これらの小さな薬、リタリンやアデロール、コンサルタなどは合衆国麻薬取締局により強い中毒性のある薬物としてコカインやアヘン、覚醒剤と同じ分類にされています。
When I was on the Ritalin, it made me just feel like totally different, like I wasn't who I was.
I was, flipping out, was twitching, going crazy.
I felt like I was out of it all the time, like I wasn't there, I wasn't human.
You're just a zombie, pretty much. You do what you can just to get by and just don't do anything extra.
My mother never teased me, but she thought I really had ADHD and I was wrong, and I had something wrong with me. So I thought she'd feel bad and feel sorry for me if I died, but then again, I thought that she would miss me a lot, and I also love her a little more than I wanted to kill myself. And so I stopped when I realized that.
ふんだんに処方される薬は子供たちの新たな収入源になりました。薬をクラスメートに売るのです。
It's called kitty cocaine. They take the Ritalin and they just repackage it and they sell it on campus to the kids because it's like speed.
I figured if I was going to do drugs, I might as well make it worth it. And I ended up doing street drugs, and then I ended up getting into it really bad.
We're looking at marijuana and other things as being gateway drugs, and actually the so-called medications are a greater gateway drug.
The Ritalin drugs are backfiring big time because if the child is already disruptive and he takes cocaine, he's going to be a lot more disruptive after he's taken it. It is not going to calm him down.
Boom, she got on the drugs and her personality changed, her behaviors changed, they became erratic and dark and violent, and it was just a nightmare.
He kept having adverse reactions, becoming very, very angry. He could not control his behavior, he couldn't control his temper.
He was on 5 different psych meds, Prozac and lithium, and he was 7 years old. And he was unable to function. He would have rages and then crying and all kinds of just violent rages, grabbing knives and all of this.
The list includes 15-year-old Kip Kinkle withdrawing from Prozac when he shot 22 classmates, killing 2 after murdering his mother and stepfather at his home in Springfield, Oregon. 18-year-old Jason Hoffman on Effexor and Celexa when he opened fire at his California high school, wounding 5. 15-year-old Sean Cooper on a mix of antidepressants when he shot students in Idaho. And 17-year-old Eric Harris on Luvox when he and partner Dylan Klebold killed 12 classmates and a teacher in the bloodiest school massacre yet, Columbine.
こうした全てが子供たちが学校に来るそもそもの理由、すなわち教育を受けることに悪影響を及ぼしています。1970年以降、合衆国の教育レベルは世界で9位から26位にまで落ちました。同時期にアメリカの学校で学習、行動、精神障害といったレッテルを貼られた子どもの数は急上昇し、ADHD の薬の売り上げは118倍に増加しました。
Children don't ask for psychiatric drugs. Children don't ask to be diagnosed. They don't want to be called crazy. So you ask the classic Roman question, legal question, cui bono, who benefits? The people who make the diagnosis.